They fucked it up. What is up, guys? DWA926, Juan Snow here with the first show review for me, at least. I don't think Aaron has done one, so this might be the first show review in general. But today, the show we're talking about, yes, is Halo, the series. I'm just doing this kind of off the top of my head, kind of going as if no script or anything, as if I was just talking to you in person. So first we'll just start with the overall. I've seen episodes 1 and 2 so far. We'll just do a little overview. I'll talk about each episode a little bit, and then I'll do spoilers at the end. So overall right now, it has Master Chief in it and Dr. Halsey. Haven't seen Cortana yet, or anybody that like stands out super much from the games. Captain Keyes and Miranda Keyes are in the show, but those are so far the main big characters that I can remember from the show, or from the game being in the show so far. So the show, like I said, is 2 episodes so far. The first episode, I would say, is definitely the better of the 2 episodes so far. The first episode just goes into kind of setting up the story, obviously, as all first episodes go. You get to see Master Chief for the first time, the young woman that he's helping. See her for the first time, learn her backstory, see Dr. Halsey, some of the other Spartans on his team, you learn about them a little bit. And then it kind of sets up the whole show. Obviously I don't want to say any spoilers here, so I'll just leave it at that. Episode 2 carries out on where episode 2 did, or episode 1 ended, obviously. This mainly focuses on Master Chief and the young woman that he's with. And that's about really all I can say without spoiling anything, without giving too much away. But overall, so far right now, if I were to give the show 1 out of 10, I would give it like a 4. If I'm being completely honest, this isn't, to me, this isn't really a Halo show. It's a science fiction show that happens to have Master Chief in it, is the way I'm looking at it. And I know there's books and comics and everything. I've only played the games. Obviously this has nothing to do with the games, not telling the story of Halo 1 or anything like that, just completely random made up stuff. I have seen articles where the people making the show have said like, oh, we didn't bother to look at the games, we didn't look at the books, we didn't look at XYZ, we just looked at everything, like the universe as a whole. Which, to me, if you're making a show based on a video game, you should play the video game. That's just me. That'd be like, we're going to make a Lord of the Rings book, or Lord of the Rings movies. We're going to make all 3, but I'm not going to read the books. So we're just going to kind of wing it and hope it's good. And it's not. It's not good. Like I said, honestly, I'd probably give it like a 3 right now. It's very generic, very cookie cutter. You can tell what's going to happen when. There's a part where, I'll give one spoiler away. There's a part where the young girl that Master Chief's with, the young woman in the trailer, she's under a truck and she sees her dad like across the battlefield, and she sees him, and it's like, oh, a happy moment. You've seen that in any horror, or not horror movie, action movie, war movie, anything like that. He's gonna die. Sure enough, 2 seconds later, he dies. So it's very cookie cutter and generic. It's nothing that's like, oh wow, this is something brand new that I've never seen before. It's a generic science fiction show that has Master Chief in it, and that's it. That's the best way to describe it, because that's really what it is. It's just a show that has Master Chief. And there's not really too much else I can say without really spoiling too much right now. Obviously, going forward, this is just the first review episode, or the first 2 episodes review. Going forward, I'll just do them spoiler free. This is kind of like just an overview, but obviously going forward, when I talk about episode 3, 4 going on, it'll just be spoilers the whole time. So now I'm going to cut to spoilers. First episode obviously shows the young woman. She sees the Covenant warship and she like freaks out. She starts running back. Everybody's getting attacked by the Covenant. She warns everybody. And then the Covenant come 2 seconds later, wipe out her whole village except her. Oh my god, who saw that coming? Including her dad. And then Master Chief and the Silver Team come in and wipe out all the Covenant and save the day. And then they find out. Then they go to this cave while they're like clearing the area, trying to look for the ship, and they find like a Covenant relic, and Master Chief touches it because that's something Master Chief would do. He would just do whatever the fuck he wants. He grabs onto the thing, and all these little sparkles come out, and all this shit pops up, and it shows a little map of the Halo ring, and you're like, oh my god, Master Chief has magical powers. And this one Covenant is like watching, like hiding from the corner, and sees it, and he's like, oh my god, he's a blessed one. We have to tell. So he leaves. Master Chief takes the thing with him and leaves. The Spartans go their own ways. Master Chief's on his ship. He takes the girl with him, and he's on the ship, and he's got the artifact thing. Then a few minutes later, they're talking, and she's like, oh, like, you killed my mom, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, they told me that she was dangerous. And she's like, what was dangerous about it? She was just a little old woman. And he's like, damn, you right. Like, shit, maybe I fucked up. So he, like, thinks about that for a little bit, and that makes him, change everything about himself. So then, 2 seconds later, he gets a message from the UNSC telling him that the girl that he's with, the little girl in the comics, or the freaking trailer, needs to be eliminated. She's... Master Chief's like, oh my god. He's like, oh my god. I've had a 5-second conversation with her, and I feel emotionally bonded to her already. He's like, I can't kill her. And she's like, hell no. The little girl's like, hell no, I know you're trying to kill me. So she grabs the gun. No, wait, that doesn't come yet. So and he says no. He turns off his helmet and says no. And the UNSC knows that, so they hack into his ship and cut the air to it. And the girl passes out, and Master Chief's like trying to stay awake. And he's able to turn the air back on and get manual control of manually control the air. And the little girl's like, oh my god, you were trying to kill me. And she grabs this gun and goes to shoot him. And she's like, you're trying to kill me, you're trying to kill me. And he's like, no, I'm not. And then he takes his helmet off. He takes his helmet off. He takes his helmet off. Let me say that one more time for you. Master Chief, takes his helmet. He takes it off. Here, look. This is Boba Fett, right? This is Master Chief. He takes this. He takes it off. He takes his helmet off. He removes his helmet. He takes his helmet off. He takes his helmet off. Master Chief, who never takes his helmet off, took his helmet off in the very first episode, and then he has it off for the last 10 minutes of the episode. Anyway, they go to the UNSC, because the ship is still being hacked by the UNSC and driving to the headquarters. They get there. The UNSC hit it with an EMP blast, so it loses all power. And Master Chief's like, oh my god, what are we going to do? I got to get you out of here. I got to get you out of here. He still has his helmet off at this point. And he's like, I know what's a good idea. I'm going to grab that relic. So he grabs the relic and little sparkles come out of his fingers again, and the whole ship powers up, and blasting off into outer space, the two of them go like freaking Calvin and Hobbes. That's how the first episode ends, with his helmet off. And then you're like, wow, what a stupid show, right? Let me put Boba Fett back here real quick. The show ended. I immediately texted Aaron, and I was like, what the fuck was that? I just watched it. It was horrible. Episode 2 starts with Master Chief. They call him 117. They barely call him Master Chief. That's also annoying. Starts with 117 as like a teenager still, helping one of his friends is trying to escape the Spartan like training thing. Master Chief lets him go and is like, I'll give you 5 minutes to escape, but then I'm telling everybody you left. And the guy's like, wow, dude, you're a dick, but okay, thanks. And he dips. And then it cuts back to present day. Guess what? Master Chief still has his helmet off. Goes through the whole episode. It's a 45-minute or so episode. He has his helmet off 40 minutes. He's out of his armor for 30 minutes, probably. Just walking around in this like black skin-tight suit. Because that's normal. Anyway, so he brings the girl to the guy that he helped escape at the beginning of the episode, because he's living free now on this like lawless rock planet thing. Whatever, yada yada yada. You can guess the rest. And they're like, I need you to keep the girl here, blah blah blah. And he's like, no, I can't. Like, you can't do that to me. And he's like, no, I need you to trust me. And the guy's like, okay, fine, I'll do it for you. I'll do it, blah, blah, blah. And along the way, they go and talk to these prisoners, because one of the prisoners was abducted by Covenants, like abducted by aliens. And he sees, Master Chief shows him the like relic. Now he's carrying around in a box the relic. He shows the prisoner the relic, and he's like, oh my god, where'd you get that? Like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, I touched it, and I saw this ring, and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh my god, you saw the Halo ring? It's a weapon. He's like, it's a weapon, blah, blah, blah. And then he touches it again, and everything freaks out, and the guy's like, oh my god, you're a blessed one, you're a blessed one. You have special magical powers. Blah, blah, blah. Long story short, the show's dumb. I've lost all faith for the show. Part of me doesn't want to watch the rest. Part of me wants to watch the rest because it's just a train wreck of a show. I'm going to watch the rest for you guys. I'll try and think if there's anything else I wanted to add in here afterwards. If I think of anything, I'll add it in here at the end. But yeah, as of right now, that's how the show is. And that's the Halo show we have right now, so yeah. Alright, so while I was sitting here finishing the rest of my workday, I did actually remember a few other things I wanted to talk about. Just small, really quick things. First thing, in the first episode, as far as like the CGI, getting to see the Spartans and the ships and everything, in live action, it was pretty cool. The CGI, for the most part, was good. There was a few times where it was absolutely atrocious. You can kind of tell they saved majority of the CGI budget for the stuff you're actually paying attention to, and then like the small, sorry, my computers were starting, and then the small, not so very important things, they didn't put much money into. I'll try and see if I can find the examples of what I'm talking about and have the video play here. Otherwise, if you watch the first episode, you'll probably be able to see what I'm talking about. And then the other thing was, I didn't really touch about it. It's kind of like a spoilery thing. The other woman that's in the trailer, the human that is being portrayed as the antagonist, she's in the first and second episode. Here's the spoiler. She's also like a blessed one, like Master Chief is, but obviously she's with the Covenant. She is a human. A little weird in the second episode. You see her butt-ass naked, which was weird. I don't. You see her from behind, butt-ass naked, which I don't know why you have to put that in the show, but it's there. It was just weird to have it in there. But yeah, she is human. It's so far they haven't really said much about her. She does work with the prophets, the guys in the like floating chairs. Their CGI is good sometimes. Other times, it's like I said earlier, like is god awful. Like they'll show them up close, and but yeah, those are the only other two things I wanted to touch on about. Otherwise, the review is where it stands. It's about a 3 out of 10 as of now. I'm only on episode 2, but I don't have high hopes for it, but we'll see. Maybe it'll surprise me.